You were not born in a hearth, but whelped in the subterranean dark. The cold stone cellar was your cradle, the shadows your only blanket. A scullery made for a mother, broken by the castle's greed, a phantom for a father. You are a debt she cannot pay, a mouth she cannot feed. On the third day, the transaction is concluded in silence. A bundle of rags is exchanged. You are traded away like a sack of grain in winter. She offers no resistance. Grief is a luxury for the wealthy. She turns back to the soot, her heart hollowed out, her hands empty. Her price is met, a promise of kitchen scraps and a single tarnished copper coin. It weighs more than the life she just surrendered to the tower. You are cast into the northern tower's holding pen. The air tastes of dust and despair. A high barred window mocks you with a slice of sky. 7 others are already here. 7 other mistakes of flesh. They huddle in the corners, eyes reflecting the dim, gray light of their prison. You sleep on rot and damp straw. You feed from a common trough like livestock. Humanity is the first thing they starve out of you here. The culling begins immediately. A shadow looms over the huddled shapes, long, sharp, and terrifying. The door creaks open to reveal your new god. The overseer examines the merchandise with cold precision. He checks joints, skulls, and the timbre of the voice. You are raw material, nothing more. 3 are discarded back to the mud. Deemed too weak for the craft, they walk into the fog. Silhouettes of failure, never to be seen again. Fever takes another before the week ends. A pile of rags left in the corner. Only the flies remain to mourn a life that never truly started. 4 remain. Ignorant of their grim purpose, they stand against the cold wall, looking upward for a mercy that does not exist in this stone hell. Meet Farthing, the overseer, a former fool with shattered fingers and a heart of flint. His face is a map of scars, his gaze a judgment. His cane is his scepter. It speaks only to knees. The heavy wood strikes the stone with a crack, a reminder that posture is bought with pain. Farthing, a name worth less than the copper in your pocket. His eyes are full of bitterness. He knows exactly what a soul is worth. Nothing. He teaches the first law, the iron law. Farthing screams, veins bulging, finger pointing like a dagger. The lesson is simple. Survival is the only virtue. A jester does not weep, he bellows. You bite your lip until it bleeds, holding back the salt. Emotion is a fatal flaw in this trade. Tears are for men. You are no longer men. He looms over you like a mountain of leather. You are being unmade, piece by painful piece. You are tools, instruments of mirth, flesh crafted for laughter. He looks at you as a carpenter looks at timber. You are to be carved into a joke. By 5, you stand on your hands until blood pools in your eyes. The world is a blur of stone. Balance is your new religion. By 6, you traverse the great hall inverted. The ceiling is your floor. You walk where others crawl, a chaotic mess of limbs and discipline. Falls are ignored. Only success is tallied in Farthing's black ledger. You scramble up, gasping, knowing that to stay down is to be erased. The willow switch punishes slowness, not failure. It cuts the air with a whistle, leaving red lines that burn long into the freezing nights. Ripey, the boy beside you, finally breaks. His shadow twists awkwardly on the wall. The sound of snapping bone is his only eulogy. He is removed without a word. Erased. The heavy iron door slams shut, swallowing his screams and his existence in a single, final thud. By evening, his straw is gone. His space on the floor is clean. It is as if he never breathed the stale air of the tower. His bowl becomes yours. Survival is a quiet, hungry act. You eat his portion with trembling hands, tasting the guilt in every swallow. You learn to mangle language, to butcher syntax until it bleeds. You practice distorted faces in a polished shield, becoming a monster. Acting the fool is no gift, it is a drill. 1,000 repetitions of the same stumble until the movement is etched into your very marrow. Forced laughter rings false as tin. You open your mouth and scream a mirthless sound, your eyes remaining dead and cold as the walls. 6 months later, you laugh until you deceive even yourself. The madness takes root, a manic grin plastered across a face that cannot rest. Farthing teaches the anatomy of a chuckle, belly, throat, nose. He demonstrates the mechanics of joy with the precision of an executioner. Tears remain forbidden. The cost of weeping is starvation. You swallow your grief, feeding on dry crusts earned through a hollow smile. Public tears earn the pit. The stone sack beneath the stables where light goes to die. A heavy iron grate is your only sky. 2 cubits by 2, no room to lie, only to crouch in the damp dark. The walls press in, smelling of ancient, forgotten failures. The rats come at night to investigate. Their eyes glint in the dark, tiny stars of hunger watching you shiver in your stone cage. At 6, you enter the pit for a sob after a baron's boot found your ribs. The leather was fine, the impact heavy. You learned silence. At 7, you go down for silence. A silent fool insults the master. Farthing whispers. His shadow covers you, a shroud of expectation. Something inside you withers, a creek drying in a drought. The boy you were turns to ash, leaving only the instrument behind. Age 8, the debut. The massive castle doors groan open, spilling blinding light. The stage is set for your first performance. They drape you in motley. Patches of red and yellow, brass bells that jingle with every shiver. You are a bird of prey in a chicken's feathers. You fall, you gibber. You take the boot to the ribs and roll. You are a tumbling splash of color across the cold, polished floor. The hall roars like a breaking wave. Violence is the punchline they crave. The nobles laugh with greasy mouths, mocking your pain. Farthing nods from the shadows, a rare sign of approval. You have passed. You have become the thing they want to see. You are now court fool, a title that is a shackle. You stand alone in a tight spotlight. Darkness pressing in from all sides. The others failed, one to the kitchens, one sold to a circus. Their fates are shadows in the back of your mind. You are the investment that paid off. Farthing looks at you with cold pride. You are his masterpiece of flesh and forced laughter. The cap, 3 points, sweat-stained heirlooms of dead men. The bells are tarnished, their ring a muffled funeral dirge for your youth. You are the 4th head to wear it. The fate of the others is unsaid, but ghosts linger in the stitching, whispering jokes you haven't learned. Pants of red and yellow, rough canvas that flays the skin. The fabric is a constant irritant, a reminder of the price of your station. No lining. Summer boils you, winter freezes the marrow. The paint on your face melts into a colorful, stinging mask. You receive the marotte, a wooden head on a stick. It stares back with a carved, frozen grin, your only true friend. Lose it and lose the skin on your back. 20 lashes. The whip rests on the table, a sleeping snake of leather waiting to bite. You speak to the wooden head at night. It is your only kin. You whisper secrets to the oak, and it never judges. Shoes with curled toes, 3 inches of tripping hazard. You walk with a bell-clotted limp, music for the bored and wealthy. You fall a dozen times a day. Each fall must look accidental. Your knees are a mosaic of bruises and half-healed scars. Your bed is a niche behind the throne, a hole in the wall, a place for a dog to hide, cold and drafty. You curl up like a hound in the shadows, motley on, bells silent. You sleep fitfully, dreaming of the dark beneath the stone. You eat what falls, greasy bones, dry crusts. You wait in the dark, a scavenger in a suit of bright patches, catching food with your mouth, a favorite trick. The guests applaud the mongrel. You swallow the bread and the pride together. It is not humiliation, it is the ecosystem. You occupy the space between the hounds and the lords, a necessary shadow. Feasts mean plenty. Lent means a hollow ache. Your stomach becomes a bellows, expanding and contracting with the church calendar. Mourning means stretching. Farthing bends you until tendons scream. He treats your body like a bow to be strung, indifferent to the strain. The scream is the signal to stop, not before. You learn to hold the sound until the last moment, a game of endurance. 6 ways to fall without snapping your neck. You practice in dim light, a dancer of gravity. Each landing is a controlled disaster, juggling blades. The scars on your palms are your diploma. You watch the steel spin, a silver promise of a quick end. Farthing shows his 14 white lines, a map of mastery. He survived the blades. He expects you to do the same. 1 bad landing, a crack in the neck. Paralysis holds you for 3 days. Staring at the cellar ceiling, unable to blink. Farthing massages your spine in the night. His hands are rough but effective. He does not discard you yet. You are still useful. Age 10. 300 jokes memorized. Half are filth you don't understand, but you deliver them with the precision of a soldier. The monk and the goat, the knight and the sword. Crude stories. You paint the air with your hands, bringing vulgar woodcuts to life. You read faces like a gambler. The duke frowns. Go crude. The duchess sighs. Go soft. Their whims are the winds you sail. Micro-expressions are your map. A twitch, a lip. You see the anger before the shout, the boredom before the boot. Know your targets. Never the bishop, never the heir. You dance around the pillars of power, careful not to be crushed. The younger son is fair game. He is disposable. You mimic his gait, and the hall roars at his expense. Politics is a shifting wind. Yesterday's laughter is today's treason. You watch the weather vane, feeling the storm brewing in the corridors. You read the room by who stands where. Human chess. You are the pawn that sees the whole board while pretending to be blind. You know the debts, the affairs, the sins. Behind the tapestries, the jester hears everything. You are the archive of their filth. To them, you are furniture, a colorful stool that speaks. Invisibility is your weapon, your shield against the powerful. Age 12. The first execution. The courtyard is a sea of gray faces. The wooden platform stands like an altar to finality. You juggle while the axe is sharpened. Distract the herd from the blood. The bells jingle as the grindstone sings. The condemned man looks at you. Calm eyes meet frantic movement. For a second, the mask of the fool slips. The axe falls. You do not miss a beat. The balls stay in the air as the crowd gasps. The show must go on. Crimson sprays your yellow pant leg, a dark stain that refuses to wash out. It remains a permanent shadow on your costume. That night, you purge your stomach in the mud. Rain washes the paint from your terrified face. You are just a boy again. Farthing offers water. You will get used to it, he says. His voice is dry as stone. It is not a comfort. And you do. By 15, you have tallied 23 heads. You carve a notch into your marat for every life ended. Age 14. The illusion breaks. You thought the Duke loved you. A smile in the hallway was a lie you told yourself. Sickness takes you. Fever in the cellar. You lie on the straw of your berth, the world spinning in heat and shadow. No one comes. The door stays shut. You are alone with your ghosts and the sound of your own labored breath. When you rise, there is another. Jingle, a new face in fresh motley that has never tasted execution blood. 12 years old, agile, unbroken. He performs a perfect backflip, a splash of untainted color in the gray hall. You are not fired, you are the spare. You stand in the shadows, a tattered ghost watching the new sun rise. The Duke looks through you. You are a broken lute, a joke told too many times. Age 15. You weaponize invisibility. If they won't look at you, they won't see you coming. You whisper secrets. The stable master steals oats. You watch from the hayloft, a silent witness to the thefts that turn the world. Silence buys meat. Secrets are currency. You trade a nod for a full stomach in the dark corners. The laundress, the cook, the guard, you own them. They look at you with nervous eyes, sensing the power behind the paint. You hear a plot, poison for the Duke. A vial passes between hands, a promise of a sudden crown. You do nothing. It is not your war. You polish your bells, a silent observer of the chaos. The plot fails. The brother is executed. You juggle at his death, catching his final, accusing stare. You are chattel. Item 47, subsection 3. Property to be inventoried and discarded like old boots. Loaned to a wedding. Caged like a beast for transport. You stare through bars at the freedom of the road. A foreign baron throws a goblet. It flies through the air, wine trailing like blood in the torchlight. Silver leaves a scar above the eye. Blood is the punchline for the rich. You wipe the red from your sight. Age 20. The body settles debts. You bandage a swollen knee, the castle dampness reaching your marrow. Shoulders pop. Fingers stiffen. Gravity is a mistress who never forgets a debt. You adapt. Less tumbling, more venom. You develop a snake's tongue, a wit that draws blood before the cut is felt. You mock the fat Duke. He laughs, belly shaking. You dance on the edge of the grave. Remember the nightingale? Hang for a joke. You see his empty cage and remember laughter is dangerous. Age 25. The old Duke dies. Black banners hang limp. Mourning is a mandatory silence. The young Duke hates you. You are a relic of his father's belt, a memory he wants to bury. Exiled to the far wing, frozen water and stone. You huddle in motley, watching breath bloom in the dark. Age 30. You look 50. Gray skin, bent spine. The mirror shows a stranger's face. Farthing dies under the stairs. Forgotten. No ceremony. Just a quiet end in the dust he loved. You are the only mourner. Standing in a rain-swept field, holding his cane. The circle shrinks. The cough begins. Blood on the handkerchief. The stone dust is winning. Too much stone, says the barber. He packs his tools. There is no cure for a life in the dark. Age 33. The escape. You climb the wall at night. Muscles screaming. Moonlight is a cold guide. Caught by bad luck, a guard who couldn't sleep. Dragged back, face bare and terrified. The brand. F for fugitive, glowing red. The heat distorts the air, promising agony, sizzling flesh. You have forgotten how to scream. You endure, eyes fixed on the smoke. Age 40. The survivor. A ghost in tattered costume, sitting on a stool. A monument to endurance. Jingle dies of plague, carried away on a cart. You remain, a weed in the stone. You are the grandfather of the court. Grandpa Jester. Young nobles mock you. You are an artifact. Same jokes, new audience. The cycle is a flat circle. You speak by rote. Age 45. The collapse. Legs give way. The marat drops like a fallen sword. The audience laughs. They think it is the finale. You watch blurry figures applaud from the floor. 2 weeks in the niche. Rats are your company. They sense the fading light. You think of a mother you never knew. A glowing silhouette reaches out through the fever. Age 50. The chair. Carried to the hall. A frail king of nothing. Bells silent. You speak truth in riddles. Fleas and enemies. The duke listens to the dying fool. One morning, silence. The niche is empty. The marat lies on the floor, its grin at peace. Buried behind the church. No name, just a mound. You return to the dark beneath the stone the next day. Sparrow sits in your corner. A new boy, fresh cap, eyes wide with wonder. He is 12. He stands on his hands. The silhouette is a perfect echo of you. The machine continues. The castle stands indifferent. You are forgotten. The bells begin again.